Hello, Year 3. So we are now continuing on with our instruction writing. And as you can see, today's lesson is on oracy and editing your writing. So this week so far, in grammar, you have looked at adverbs of time and you've looked at the structure of instructions. So you've looked at what they should have in them and their layout and what sort of order that they are in. And you've now had a go at writing your very own set of instructions. Today, we are going to build on that further by having an oracy and editing lesson. Can you remember back to our time in the classroom? What is oracy? So, oracy is when we use our talking to help us be better listeners, learners, and improve our speaking and presentation skills. You might remember in our classrooms we had the discussion guidelines to help us be better listeners and learners. For example, when we have debates at school, we are using our oracy skills, or when you present a learning log that you have made, you're also using your oracy skills. When we or somebody else is speaking, we use our discussion guidelines and we try to speak loudly and clearly. So, based on the instructions that you've written, I'm going to start today by giving you an oracy task. And I want you to use the instructions that you've written and have a go at reading them or presenting those instructions that you've written to a family member. What do you notice about them? Do they make sense? Are they in the correct order? Or while you are reading them out, you might notice that you might have forgotten to put something in or that you want to change something. What else I would like you to do when you are reading out your instructions is ask somebody to try and follow them. See if your instructions are effective and see if somebody can follow them correctly. So now you might want to pause the video. You might read them aloud first, and then you might read them again and have a go at following them and testing your instructions out. Okay, so now you've rehearsed your instructions aloud and you've tested them on somebody. And you might have noticed some things that you've done really well in your instructions and it's worked really good. And you might notice some things that maybe you want to add in or improve. And today we are going to practice that editing and making our writing the best that it can possibly be. So why should we edit our writing? Writers always edit and improve their work, and we are going to have a look at what a set of instructions needs to have, and we would like you to use a different colour pen or pencil to edit or improve your work. So now, again, you might want to pause if you don't have a coloured pen or pencil ready, and while we go through the different slides, we'll focus on some different areas for you to edit, and you can put your edits onto your instructions in a different colour so you can see them nice and clearly. So the first area we're going to look at is the main heading. So I would like you to have a little look at your set of instructions. Does it have a title telling you what the instructions is going to be about? For example, how to wash a woolly mammoth. If not, can you go and add one in? Or you might have suddenly thought of a more exciting heading that you would rather use, which is fine. You can go back in and edit your work. The next area we are going to focus on Year 3 is an introduction. I'm going to ask you now to have a little read of your introduction if you've got one. Have you started your instructions off with an introduction? Does it have any rhetorical questions, so those questions that don't need answering? Does it tell you what they are for? What are the instructions for? Who are they for? Why are they there? Why are they important? Does it have a subheading? Is there anything you want to add or improve? Pause the video and have a look. Okay, now we're going to look at the list of equipment, because when we've got a set of instructions, we need to let the person know who's reading them or following them what exactly they're going to need to complete these instructions successfully. So your set of instructions have a clear list of equipment that you will need to be able to follow them. Maybe when you were rehearsing, you might have noticed that you've maybe forgotten to add something in, or you might want to take something out. Is your list set out with numbers or bullet points? Have you forgotten to add anything in? Go back and check on your equipment list. Okay, now we're going to look at the steps of actually following our instructions. So I want you to again have a little look. Have you included all of the steps in order to follow your instructions fully? Because again, when you tested your instructions out at the beginning of the lesson, you maybe didn't add in enough in steps in your instructions. You maybe forgotten something, and you might want to use that chance now to add it in. Are they clear in what you want the reader or person following them to do? Are there any that you'd like to add? Are they in order of what to do first, down to what you should do last? Pause the video and have a look to see how you have done. Now we're going to look at some grammar. This week you've learned all about adverbs of time. Have you used any of these? They could be anywhere throughout your instruction set, but you're probably most likely going to find them in your steps. Remember, they are words like last, before, and next. Pause the video and have a look at how many you've used. Do you maybe need to add in some more? And again, we're doing another little bit of grammar. Some bossy verbs back to last week's grammar lesson. And you did really, really well with those. Just to remind you of what those are. They are words like hold, brush, wash, chop, and pour. And your instructions might have some different bossy verbs than the ones that I've mentioned. Pause the video and check for these. If you don't have them, please add some in. Okay, well done so far in your editing. Now we are going to test them out again. So I want you to read your new and improved instructions to a family member again. You might choose to do this with the same member you did it with at the beginning. How have you done? Are they now easier to follow? Are they clearer? How they go? You might want to pause the video again. Okay, well done, Year 3. I'm sure your instructions have been amazing and you had great fun following them. You have been magnificent instruction investigators and you've been magnificent editors this week as well. Well done.